towards the back, already filled with students, settling into the careful stillness of expectation. Papers were unfolded. Pens clicked open. The room carried the faint echo of voices that had not learned to be quiet together yet. Matthew sat somewhere in the middle, far enough forward to see clearly, far enough back to remain unnoticed. At the front of the hall stood Professor Jules Verne. He waited outside the door until the doors were closed before he spoke. Today, we learn about the history of the Sunstone. He reached down to the table beside him and lifted a rock in both hands. It was larger than a fist. Dark, uneven, unremarkable. If it had been left on the ground, nobody would have bent down to pick it up. This rock, Professor Verne said, holding it so the light caught its dull surface, is from the sun. There was a stir in the room. Matthew did not move. It contains elements of destruction, the professor continued. Not because it wishes to, but because it cannot be anything else. He turned the stone over his hand. This fell upon an ancient city. The professor paused, letting the words settle. The city was called New Haven. Someone in the back shifted in their seat. It was destroyed by fire. Half the population died immediately. Of those that survived, many developed a strange illness that took years to understand and generations to endure. He set the stone back down gently, as if it were fragile. New Haven still existed. It was 1,000 years ago. The room was quiet now. Matthew looked at the stone and thought how ordinary it appeared, how easily it could be mistaken for something inert, something finished. Professor Verne folded his hands behind his back. Magical physics is not about creation, it is about consequences. Matthew wrote that down. Outside, the day continued. Students crossed the campus. Bells rang. Somewhere, someone laughed inside a harmless-looking stone, and the lecture went on. Episode 5. 2 years passed. They did not pass evenly. Classes deepened.